Hello,
Good afternoon to you.
We are coming here today from Adornment again. Mr. Walter Döberle and Mrs. Döberle. We are pleased to see you all here on this last date of November. So we are continuing today our story, how God matched us.
Yes.
And last time I think we stopped when you told about the vision you had about washing your husband's feet.
Yes.
What I liked so much. Yeah? So we continue with this.
Oh yeah. So before we continue, I would just like to say a word of encouragement to anyone who may be undergoing a stressful time during this period with people losing jobs. There's a lot that's going on, but we should always remember that everything works for good to those who love God and are called according to His purpose. Sometimes you can think that maybe you are undergoing something wrong, maybe like losing a job, and yet God is preparing you to go into something else. Or even where you are going to be now is where maybe even your spouse is. Our example is my husband lost his job last year.
Yeah.
You remember? And before you did, you thought that we could not even survive without a job. But now you can imagine, even if it had not ended, even now, right now, your expertise is not really needed right now.
Would not be needed now.
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
I mean, the travel business, so there is no travel business at the moment.
Yes.
My job, my work time would have ended anyhow, yeah?
Yes.
Due to
exactly.
This what came up then, yeah?
Yeah.
And so it even gave me time to reorient myself.
Yes.
Yeah?
Seek God more.
To seek God more and to find some new thing to do. Yeah? So we should always look at things as
in all circumstances. Just be thankful
as an opportunity, and even if it does not maybe look positive in the first way. I mean, also what we regard as positive
sometimes is negative.
Maybe negative.
Yeah. And
it's always good not to justify things on the now.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
We should look back and then maybe in 3 or 4 years we can really see what was happening and what these things really meant for us.
Yes. They say we live life forward, but we understand it backward. And yes, when you look back, so that's why it's very important that in a season such as this of Mommy, the least you should do is to seek God. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, yes.
Take every opportunity to fellowship with Him.
You should reflect about it. That maybe this what's happening to you, even when it does not look positive or nice, or you should think that maybe God has planned this path for you to get you somewhere else.
Yeah, in His purpose for you. Yeah. Because God is the master planner, and He knows the end from the beginning.
And when you look back, I mean, the feet washing was a typical thing. We messed it up. At this moment, we thought, but washing feet. So she bought a basin to wash my feet.
Yes.
But when we look now back at this, there was much more which was meant to buy.
Yeah.
But we messed it up, like you said.
Totally, yeah.
And went into wrong paths. And this cost us a lot of time, a lot of resources. So, as we did not took this opportunity in the way we should have taken it.
Yeah, by seeking God more.
Yeah.
So we are praised that God shall continue strengthening us all, comforting us. He'll uphold us with His righteous hand as He establishes us into His salvation. Because when you are deep in God's salvation, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all His righteousness, and everything else shall be added unto you. You are in the right place. From there, God will never forsake you because He's always with us at any one given time. So that's our prayer, and we say amen to it.
Yes.
So now the Lord has told me and has showed me, has gone to pains to show me Mr. Doibele's legs. Actually, he showed me from the knees down, but said, and you must wash your husband's feet. And it was an order, it was a command.
Yeah.
It was non-negotiable. So I get off, and the next day when I'm in town, I buy a small basin, which when he comes, at this time, it's now late January or just early February probably.
Yeah, February, I guess beginning February
Yeah.
also when you bought it.
Yeah, and so around this time, Mom is now already starting to plan to visit.
Yes, I made already plans, but it was also that it was a bit unsure because of work. Some other colleague was on sick leave, so I was not sure when she will return again back, and unless she has returned, I could not take leave.
Yeah.
So it was a bit unsure, the whole thing, so I didn't know if it will work out or not, but I hoped for it. Yeah?
You hope for it. But you know, like Omami said, that God will always continue to give you signs to show you that this person is really meant for you or not.
Yeah.
What happened is sometime in February, I think it was late February.
It was late February, yeah.
You had a colleagues
There
meeting
was
somewhere.
there was a company meeting in the Bavarian Alps here, and apart from some seminars,
Yeah.
we also had some amusement part, yeah, which did not turn out as a real amusement then. Yeah? No? We went on a kind of sleigh riding.
Yes.
On a quite high mountain. In fact, the highest mountains in Germany, we have the Zugspitze. And we were all unused in these things. Yeah? And our boss is optimistic and tough. So he said, we will manage it. Yeah? So we rented the sleighs, that each one on such a sleigh, and then there was a track going down for the sleigh riding. But normally, I mean, it's not so icy, but it was very icy, very cold on top of this mountain. So we did almost not manage to let's say to control it, to control the speed especially. We tried to brake, but to brake with the feet. You use the feet for slowing it down, and also to change directions. But as it was so frozen, it did not really work to reduce the speed much. So in the beginning it was funny, but then the speed got more and more. And though I already saw some colleagues, I was coming over an edge of one of the hills here, and I already saw some colleagues laying down there on the end of the hill. Yeah, they have crashed into each other, and they were even crying. So I said, well, what to do now? I don't want to crash into that too. So I decided just to turn over the sleigh and fall into the snow. So fell into the snow. I turned some bit around, but I came to a stop then. But then, as I was lying there in the snow, I felt a heavy push from behind, and some other colleague ran with his sleigh into my back.
Wow.
So
you never explained this to me. You could even have injured the spinal.
Yes.
Wow.
So luckily he only hit my ribs. So what they found out later was when I went to hospital was that I broke think two ribs on my back, and yeah, and of course in the evening I told her that I will go to this company meeting, and I will contact her in the evening.
He had said that he would try to after dinner, that after the meeting and the dinner, he would try to get back early so that we could talk. But then I waited and waited, and midnight came, and so I dozed off to sleep. And as I dozed off to sleep, I have a dream, and in this dream I see him, and I and two of our youngest daughters were at a small airport. But the most interesting thing about this dream is that I saw him complete, walking. And very interestingly, that's how Mommy walks, as in God gave me a vision of him. Even with the clothes that you were wearing on that day, finally when you came with them. And so I woke up and realized that he had not contacted, even tried to contact me. And so of course I was kind of worried, because I knew, I had a feeling that something had gone wrong. But then at the same time, because God had given me this vision, I knew that whatever had happened, he was fine, because God had shown me a vision in the future that I would actually meet you. So, yeah, he healed. You healed for...
Yeah, and it even was then, because I got, due to my injury, I got sick leave from the job, and though my other colleague returned earlier, and then it was still not completely healed. So I asked her, I said, well, it would be good if I could have some leave now
to continue resting,
that I need not to go to work every day. It would be more easier if you have leave with my healing for my ribs, as such broken things always take quite some time till they heal fully. And so my boss agreed, and I got the leave. So I could travel to
finally
Kenya.
So so you decided on you were supposed to arrive in Kenya.
It was then yes, end of March.
March 24th, the very day that we met, 3 months earlier, December, because we met on December
24th December, and 24th March.
Yes, so
3 months.
Yes, so you were scheduled to arrive on 24th March. Now, at this point, I need to tell a sister out there or a brother that you have no idea how much we underestimate God. Our God is, there are no words that I can describe God. Because the things that we assume that, like for me, most of my life I had put God in a small box. I used to think that I do things and I ask him to assist me. But I came to learn, as I journey with him closer and closer, I have learned that God is God, and God's plans are intricately and accurately knitted into each other. So here's a mom, he's scheduled to arrive on 24th, it was a Saturday. The flight was supposed to land at 8:05. And now, so me, I dress up with the kids. Thank God I had the girls, because if I didn't have them, I don't know how I would have met him, because I'm a shy person. So we dress up and we get onto the bus, and we arrived at the airport at 8. Was it 8 or just a few minutes past 8? About 9, maybe 9 minutes to 8 or past 8. I can't remember very well. And so I had a plan that we are going to walk to the washrooms so that I dust my shoes, because we had come by bus. We couldn't afford a taxi. So we came by bus. So now we walk, as we are walking towards the washrooms. If anybody had been to the arrivals at that time in Kenya, the old arrival building which was burnt down. As we are crossing over to go to the washrooms, I hear this huge man calling out, hello, here I am. But you see, my plan had been to go to the washrooms, then we come back and stand at a very strategic place. and I nearly gave way, just fell down. But thank God for children. So the girls ran to you, and you hugged them, and you gave them chocolate. And so, of course, now I had confidence also to hug him, to be hugged by him. So there's this huge person that I'm hugging, and I'm just like, wow, okay, it is now happening, it is real. But the reason why I'm saying that God's plans are so intricate and accurate is because this flight, remember, it was scheduled to arrive at 8:05. And now, if this flight had arrived at 8:05, we were even a little early, because by the time he gets through customs to get a visa faster, immigration and what have you, it would take him at least minimum of 30 minutes. But hey, guess what? The flight
Arrived earlier.
Arrived earlier.
Yeah.
Arrived earlier, yes.
Yeah.
And this same flight, maybe you are the one to tell that. No, but now this thing we came to know about on Friday. We came to know about on Thursday or Friday about your email.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, on this day we go with him to the. This is a very organized gentleman, so he had even hired a car. So we went. You were given the car. Of course, I couldn't drive because it was. It was automatic. I don't know how to drive an automatic car. Me, I'm used to a manual car. Anyway, finally, you called back. You called the guys who are handling it, and they came and showed me what to do, and we drove home. And the interesting thing, from this time, I just started falling in love with him because instead of yelling at me, I was used to being yelled at. I was always the problem my whole life. Whatever I did was wrong. But now I'm fiddling with this car. I'm totally unable to start it. And all he's asking me is that, are you sure that you are able to drive us back home?
Yeah, I asked her if she's used to automatic cars, yeah? And she said, yes, no problem.
No, you said if I can drive. You didn't ask automatic. Me, I like manual. I think you just assumed because automatic are more common now.
Yeah, but when we got into the car, I asked her if she can drive automatic.
I had
and she
driven
said,
before.
Yes. And though I was surprised when we could not start the car, but and I was not. I'm not so used because I was always driving manual. Here. Yeah.
But you're so calm, and this shocked me because I expected him to yell at me, get frustrated, get angry, but he just said, okay, let me find out if the car is fine. Yeah. Then he walked to the office and came back with this man, and then they put it, I think, in parking or something before you can start it. It's complicated, these automatic things. Anyway, so we drove home, we got home fine. And on Thursday, this is Saturday, so on Thursday, he receives an email, a very interesting email.
Yeah. It was. I need to tell a bit of the story.
Yeah.
No, because I had a relation with some women from
West Africa.
From West Africa.
Yeah.
Before, and I quitted the relation. But I had not told her that I'm going to Kenya now. No.
Did you tell her the relationship is over?
Yes, I told her that the relationship is over. It was about. It was in November. Before. But I occasionally she sent me a message. I answered her. Yes, I'm fine.
In Africa, relationships don't end.
So I did not. I did not tell her that I'm traveling to Kenya now. No.
Of course, now you are not obliged because you're not in a close relationship anymore.
So on this Friday, you said.
On Thursday now you received an email.
I received an email from her where she said, "Oh, how is it in Kenya?" No? And she always warned me, don't look for a women from Kenya.
Yeah. Because
they are. You cannot rely on them. No?
Yeah.
They like to jump around from one man to the other. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and now I said me, how is it in Kenya? Yeah. Huh? And I said, I asked myself,
how did she know?
How does she know that I'm in Kenya?
Kenya, yeah.
Huh? That's how? No, I have not told her.
Yeah.
And even yeah, she never called my office also.
And then it was Saturday when you left, and Saturday you were not open in the office here.
And so how maybe she called my mom, but no, she has not. She has never called my home. Yeah, and why should she call now suddenly? Yeah? And even then, mom would not have told her that I have gone to Kenya.
Yeah. So you were so confused. So I got into this thing also, and of course, let me tell you, the letter was full of insults about me, whom she didn't even know. Now I was brought into this thing, very very deep insults, But anyway, so Sunday. So we are trying to figure out how did she know this information that you're in Kenya.
And then we found out
Sunday. She wrote another email herself to say now how she found out
to say that I have been seen.
Yes.
At the airport of Nairobi. No?
Can you imagine that?
And so who could have
seen you?
And you know people in Kenya apart
from me now,
and nobody has seen my picture. No? So who could have seen me?
Yes.
No? So I started to think about it and I said,
No, she wrote the whole thing up to down, yeah.
And it was that I was seen by a man from Nigeria. And I have seen this man only once. When I visited her, and he came just for a visit over, as he worked for a big oil company in Nigeria, and he was on a business trip to Nairobi because they had a big meeting of oil people there. No? And I also found out that the plane, or she told me, that the plane from Lagos was delayed for a longer time, even some hours.
Yeah, because our minister was on it. There had been a coup of Lore Gbagbo. He was in Central African Republic or something. So our minister was connecting on that flight, and it was delayed so much. That's how they. That's how they.
That was delayed. This plane was delayed.
Yeah.
And my plane arrived too early.
Yeah.
So as I arrived too early.
And the other one was delayed.
I had to wait for Ada. So I stood I just placed me just beside the main exit, where all people come out, because there they would find me easiest.
Yes,
And I had to wait there about 10 minutes, I guess. Till they arrived.
Yes.
She arrived with the girls. And so, of course, this gave this person the opportunity to see me standing there. And he even saw when I was running to my family and hugging them.
So, can you imagine that? What were the chances that his flight comes in early and their flight is delayed, and of all people, this one person who has seen you before.
It's not that I was meeting a lot of people in Lagos, and I went to public venues or something like this. No.
And so for me, I told Omwami, evidently this girl maybe still had hopes with you, but now God decided to end it for them. I don't know if he had ended it. Now that one only God knows. But for me, my case now, God stamped it, because he ensured that she gets information. That he has a family now. So you see how God can do things. That was just spectacular. So, but before we go to that Thursday, Monday morning, when the kids have gone to school, I brought my basin with warm water, and I told you now, I need to wash your feet. And you asked me why, and I told you, no, it's just, let me just do it. And so you're like, fine, if you find pleasure in that, who am I to refuse? So you gave me a foot. So I washed, after washing the first one, you asked me, well, I'm really enjoying this, but would you please make me understand why you are doing it? So you are not enjoying enough. Why were you insisting to know why?
Because it was so unusual. I mean, that's not a normal thing. What do you expect? I always hoped, maybe I find a submissive wife, and
that was your dream, I think.
My dream, yeah. So I thought that's nice, yes, it's nice, but it's not a usual thing. How did she get this idea of washing my feet? Yeah? So I asked her why do you do this? Is it out of what? Is it a Kenyan tradition? Kenyan women wash the feet of every man who is coming to the house. So why are you doing this? And then she told me about her vision. Vision. And so I said, maybe it's not only meant to wash my feet.
So you didn't want me to stop washing the feet. That's why I said it's not only meant.
And maybe there is even more behind. Maybe it's kind of meant that you should respect me as a head.
You said it just outrightly that I should be submissive to you.
Yeah.
Of course, which is written all over the Bible. We just didn't pick out the scriptures because you know that men love your wives and wives submit to your men. But now you see what I didn't realize even up to that point. I thought, having been in abusive relationships, that I was a very submissive person. But apparently I was not. No wonder God took time to command me to be submissive.
Yeah.
So anyway, we keep the basin. I finished washing. That was the best day of your life. Had you ever been washed feet again before?
No.
No.
My mom, as I was a small boy, okay.
Or grandma.
Yeah.
But as a grown man, never.
No.
Oh, so you really enjoyed life. Well, you can bribe me, I can continue washing your feet. So anyway, I didn't realize that I was not a submissive person. Truly, I thought that by going through abuse, that was part of submission. But apparently I wasn't. And God, because God had a purpose, a great purpose for this relationship, this union, He had to command me to be submissive to you so that you are the head, really.
Yeah.
But so anyway, we put that aside and life continued.
Yes.
And so we started thinking of, here when he came, I was a housewife. I was a wife, I was at home, not working, just maybe selling a car here and there on commission. But now we decided, you decided, in fact you had the one who decided to me. You will now bring money so that you can start a business.
Yes, I mean, it was. I need to add some things too.
Yeah.
For me, it was when I traveled.
Yes.
It was very interesting. Yeah. Because it was more like a kind of obligation to travel. Now I am married.
Yeah.
And I even have a family.
Yes.
There,
Yeah.
So I need to visit there.
Yeah.
And so it was not like you go on a holiday trip.
No.
Or where you have nice beaches, a good hotel, and so on. So it was a completely different thing.
Yes.
No? And so I got there and at this time Ada was living in Umoja.
Yeah.
And
it was a
very simple place.
Yeah.
But when I got there, I felt it so homely. Yeah?
Oh, thank you.
It
yeah.
was a simple place, but
Yeah.
it was kept very clean
Mm.
and really with a lot of love for design. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
designer in
They
me.
even had her aquarium,
yeah,
with
with
the
the
fishes.
goldfish.
Yeah, I found it so nice.
Yes, yeah.
Huh?
Wow.
Because it was a simple place, and
Yeah.
you could see that they are had to make it with very small money there. Yeah,
Yeah, but with a lot of love.
but with a lot of love and a lot of love in detail.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was so excited about it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was really nice. Yeah?
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, and you also told me about the businesses she had done already, that she was importing cars and now she's doing it just on commission because she cannot afford to bring the cars with own money.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, but she has some talent for business.
Yeah, yeah.
So I will support it, yeah, because then it will, when I go into retirement, it will make a living for us both.
Yes, yes.
No? And so I said, yeah, if you, of course I mean, before with the feet washing, it was meant like I should be the head.
Yes, yeah.
So I said, yeah, the head will be in Germany, and you are the head. You take the money and go forward with business, yeah. And then when I am in retirement age, in some years I come and I see, oh, what house have we here? No? How's the business is going? Oh, fine, yeah. No? So that's how I thought, and of course it fits your expectations too, yeah.
Yes, it's
because you
fitted.
said you are the businessman. So,
By the way, I began business.
You told already, yeah.
Yeah.
So that you will teach this man,
Yeah.
who doesn't obviously not know how to do
yes,
business.
that was my plan.
And now you will show him how to do business.
Yes,
you
and get some
perform
money.
well,
Yes.
and you will be a successful.
Exactly. And now, here, let me go back to what we were saying earlier. I started doing business at the age of 6, 7. I used to sell groundnuts, peanuts. You roast them and then you sell them.
Yeah.
I graduated into fish and so on, deep fried fish and so on. So my entire life, even when I worked for the international airline, my job on weekends, I would fly out, get clothes for sale, stockings especially. I eventually stabilized in stockings because it's a simple thing, but people buy it for cash. So anyway, I had done business my entire life. So I knew that now with this capital, we are going to go to great heights. I was going to teach him how to have money. I was going to build as a maisonette, my dream. We are going to do great. Now, we should learn from this because seasons in our lives change. God changes our seasons.
Yeah.
What I didn't know at that time was that God had joined us together for a purpose.
Yeah, and it was already so obvious because when I arrived, I saw this nicely arranged house. So and it really hit me, and it says, I was not aware of it. Yeah? But what I looked for was a housewife.
Yeah.
And so I felt home.
Yes.
I felt home. I felt safe. I felt relaxed. It was perfect.
Yes.
For me. If someone would have told me, do you want to change this place here and just go with your wife to a 5-star hotel in Mombasa on the beach, I would have said, no, it's so nice here, and I have the children here, the family. It's wow, this is very, very lovely.
In fact, we are so settled because what happened, we were just forgetting.
Yeah.
The third day, on your third night,
we
had a loud bang in the house. Very loud, do you remember?
Yeah.
And you asked me, what's that? Because we woke up, things were dropping in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I said I didn't know so. Then come 5, that thing happened about 5 a.m. or maybe around 4, 5, yeah. But then when I woke up in the morning, I'm looking up and there's a bullet hole in our house.
In the ceiling. Up
Yeah.
there.
An AK-47 had been shot at our house.
Yeah.
So I'm telling him there's a bullet, and he's like, do you know anybody who would do that? And so I expected him to run. I expected him to really just tell me,
Yeah, I mean, of course, I thought about it, and I said, what's that? Why is someone shooting? And I knew about her last relation, and that this person could get violent.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe he
He's
has
the
heard
one,
that I'm coming,
Yeah.
and now he from outside he shoot at me to hit me in the bed.
I told him, no, that one is not capable of that. You know someone what they're capable of and not. So we shall not preempt that. First we ask you, please subscribe and ask someone else to subscribe. Plus, tell us if it's taking too long, because we had thought of doing only 20 minutes each time. But now we have gone beyond that. So please just let us know if it's too long. We shall shorten it a bit every episode. And subscribe, please remember to subscribe. And inbox us. Catherine, thank you so much for your encouragement. Our friend Catherine has been encouraging us, and we thank you for that. And please share it with a friend. Let them. This is a journey that it's very important for people to get to know this, because we are not here just for the sake of us. We are here sent by God. God specifically told us He wants us to share about marriages, trusting God for a spouse, because so many marriages are failing. People want to say that the devil is attacking marriages, whatnot, but ideally it's not that. God is, you can't compare the devil to God. No. God is Alpha and Omega. And God, as long as God joins together a couple, a spouse, you become one. And He says that what He has joined together, no man can put asunder. Yeah. And that's a fact. Yeah. So this thing would really like a lot of women and even men to get to know that it's worth it. Don't underestimate God. God is perfectly able to arrange for a spouse for you, because God looks at our hearts. Yes. He knows that person. He knows who can match you. He'll prepare the two of you. When you get together, we'll have an awesome life. So let's be free to tell others to watch these things so that they can know, so that God can teach us through, because we speak, He speaks through us. God will not come and tell people, come to me and get spouse. No, He has to use His servants. And here we are. Yeah. So please make a point of sharing with a single person our link. Share with a person who is widowed, whatever, so that we can grow together on this journey. Yeah. We thank you so much. Please remember to subscribe. Yeah. And may God keep you. Yeah. You want to say something?
Till next time.
Till next time.
A good start into December.
Exactly. And we want to believe that December is the month that God is going to remind us of who He is. Yeah. What we're supposed to do ideally in this season is to seek God with all that we have.
All right. It's very important.
Yes. Thank you so much. Until next time.
Till next time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.